Welcome, and thank you for joining us today live or on the recording for episode 18 of Dr. Jeff Talks About Sex and Intimacy, Pelvic Health, and Yoga. It means so much to me that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to join us and learn more about this subject. So welcome. We are on social media, so your favorite social media, Facebook, YouTube, X, and all these social media sites. Please use whatever that media is. And if you are a Facebook person in particular, please follow us, because when we have 100 followers, we will stream live there. We're always there recorded, but we will stream live. And so if you'd like to follow us, that would be so awesome. Go to the website. If you want to see all the amazing guests and topics that we've had in the past, you can watch previous episodes. You can look at the calendar, pull it up, see what's coming up each week and what you want to tune into. You can also listen to us in your car. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We're on Amazon Music. You can listen to us while you're riding along in that car, cruising along. So please do so. I want to remind you, as always, that all are welcome. Whatever your sexual orientation, whatever your gender identity, whatever your relationship style, you are so welcome here. We are so glad you joined us, and we see you and we hear you, and you matter. The goal of the podcast is really simple. It's just to empower and enlighten you with the evidence-based scientific information that you need to improve your sexual health and to deepen your relationships. Well, today marks the beginning, the very first day of National Nurses Week. And we're kicking it off with something special. Every person involved in today's episode is a nurse. Vic, who runs everything behind the scenes and is so amazing. I don't know how he does everything he does. He makes it all look so effortless. But he is a board certified urology registered nurse and has been in the profession of nursing at least as long as I have, maybe a little longer. Our guest, Kate, who I'll introduce to you in just a moment, is a dedicated family nurse practitioner and advanced practice registered nurse. And I'm proud to serve as a board certified urology clinical nurse specialist. And so nurses have consistently been recognized. And I said this on the very first episode. We have consistently been recognized as the most trusted profession in the world since the very first Gallup poll measuring public trust. And all that's for a good reason. We're there in the moments that matter the most, to care, to comfort, and to advocate. Oh gosh, I began my nursing career 45 years ago. That's crazy to even think about. As a nurse assistant at, now it's called Barnes Jewish Christian Hospital Northeast in North County in the suburbs of St. Louis. And I worked there for about 5 years. They helped pay for my nursing program that I did at Jewish Hospital School of Nursing way back when. And so that was a long time ago. And so I have journeyed on to become an advanced practice registered nurse. And it has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life to be a part of a profession so deeply rooted in compassion, skill, and service. So to all the nurses out there, we see you. We so appreciate you. We need you in the world, and we celebrate your unwavering commitment to caring for others. Happy Nurses Week. Today also marked the very first day of kayaking, and so I wanted to share with you, this is a picture of my happy place. And so yes, I was on the Chicago River amongst the skyscrapers, and it was an amazingly beautiful day. And so, yes, I was in nature and at my happy place. All right, we can take the picture down, Vic. And today, we are going to start our episode. In today's episode, we are going to explore how yoga, a practice rooted in mindfulness, in breath and breathing and embodiment, can help us reconnect with our pelvic health, in safe, affirming, and transformative ways. So we are going to stretch beyond symptoms and into self-awareness, discovering how yoga can support healing, empowerment, and deep connection with the body. Our guest today, I am super excited. I heard her speak at the Society of Urologic Nurses and Associates conference, and she was awesome. And she talked about some of the work she was doing. I'm like, you have to come on and do a podcast with me. So Cate Arima is a compassionate and experienced family nurse practitioner at Stanford Healthcare Urology with a strong commitment to holistic, patient-centered care. Cate is especially passionate about empowering patients through education and advocacy. In addition to all this, to her clinical expertise, Cate is a 300-hour certified yoga teacher and has completed advanced training in pelvic floor yoga and yoga for incontinence, which is what we're going to focus on today. She developed Stanford Healthcare's first yoga for incontinence program. It's combined evidence-based medicine with mindful movement. So cool. Through this podcast, Cate extends her knowledge right here in this podcast and passion to reach even more individuals, men and women alike, who may benefit from integrative approaches to pelvic health and healing. We are so excited to have you here today. Welcome, Cate.
So much. Oh,
there she is. There she is. Awesome.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jeff, for having me. I'm so excited to be here today. Thank you.
I know. I'm so excited too. You developed such an amazing program, and I just think I was like, you got to share this with more people, and that's why you're here.
Thank you. Yes. So, we're going to be talking about something that I'm so passionate about. It is yoga and yoga for incontinence. So, what I'm even more excited about is that we're also going to do a short little abbreviated version of the class that I teach here at Stanford. So, if the listeners or the viewers want to practice along with me, what you will need is a yoga mat and 2 yoga blocks. And so you can go ahead and gather your equipment right now, because I'm going to give, a short little 8-minute talk beforehand.
So as you gather your yoga mat, as you gather your equipment, we're going to go to just Cate, and she's going to take over the screen, and she is going to do a little short presentation followed by the yoga. It's all yours, Cate.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, so let's first talk about some definitions. We're going to start with urinary incontinence. So what is urinary incontinence? Basically, urinary incontinence is the involuntary release of urine from the bladder. Basically, it's peeing when you don't mean to pee. It's leaking urine when you don't mean to leak urine. There's many different types of incontinence, but the two that I'll be addressing today are urge incontinence and stress incontinence. Urge incontinence is when you feel that strong urge to pee and you just can't get to the bathroom in time and you leak urine. So that's urge incontinence. And then stress incontinence is whenever you leak urine, when you cough, you sneeze, you laugh, you jump, you run. So that's stress incontinence. So the yoga class that I teach, it helps with both stress and urge incontinence. Okay, so yoga. What is yoga? What is yoga? Lots of people practice it, but what is it? Yoga, when you look up the definition, there's many definitions, but one of the definitions of yoga is union. The word yoga means union. So union of what? So I like to think of it as a union of our outer senses having a dialogue or becoming in union with our inner senses. So I like to think of yoga as this dialogue of the outer senses, meaning sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, in dialogue, becoming one with our inner senses of thought, emotion, intuition, and wisdom. So the practice of yoga is really getting us to become more in tune with our body. We live in a very disembodied society. So whenever we practice yoga, whenever we practice union, whenever we practice yoga, it helps us slow down so we can hear this dialogue between the outer senses and the inner senses. And then when we can hear that dialogue, when we can listen to what the body is trying to tell us, when we can hear the intelligence of the body, then we can learn what we need to do, how we need to be in order for our body to heal. And when we can heal ourselves, then in turn we can heal one another. So that's yoga. Now, what about the pelvic floor? What is that? So the pelvic floor is a group of muscles. It sits within the pelvis at the bottom of the bladder. And these group of muscles, they work together in helping with urinary function, bowel movements, and sexual function. So some people think that they need to have a tight pelvic floor, contracted all the time in order for their pelvic floor to be strong. That's not necessarily true. Actually, a strong pelvic floor muscle or strong pelvic floor muscles are strong when they can contract well, but also relax open well. That's a strong muscle. And it's the same for all the muscles within our bodies. We want our muscles to be able to contract well and also relax, stretch, and lengthen well. So, okay, we went over incontinence, we went over what yoga is, and we went over the pelvic floor muscles. So this yoga for incontinence, is this a completely new idea? Well, not according to the yogis. The yogis have known that yoga poses can help with incontinence and pelvic floor health for many, many years. However, it does seem to be a new concept to Western medicine. UCSF did a pilot trial where they had 9 women, and they had the 9 women do a set series of yoga poses that were designed to strengthen the pelvic floor. They did these classes 3 times a week for 6 weeks. And after the 6 weeks, the researchers found that it had improved urinary incontinence, which is great. And then furthermore, that little pilot trial was then extended to a multi-center trial where they're doing more yoga and they're learning more about how it has helped with both urinary incontinence and even pelvic pain. So it's not necessarily a new concept, but I would say it's new to Western medicine. So the class that I teach here, it's designed for my prostate cancer patients. However, it can be done by both men and women, and you don't have to have cancer to do the class. This is basically a pelvic floor yoga class. And so every single pose we do is designed to do 2 things. One, first, is for you to get in tune with your body, to become embodied, to listen to that dialogue of the outer senses with the inner senses. That's the first thing. And I would even say that's the most important thing whenever you do yoga. Actually, every day in life, whenever you do anything, it is to become embodied and to listen to yourself. And the second thing that each pose in the yoga class is designed for is to either stretch or lengthen your pelvic floor muscles or shorten and contract them, because that's what makes a strong pelvic floor. So with no further ado, let's do some yoga. All right, so I'm going to move my camera. So hopefully you have your mat all set up. You have your blocks all set up. And then let's see here. So it's a little impromptu setup here. So yeah, so Jeff, just chime in if you don't see me. So let's have everyone sit up on a block in a comfortable cross-legged position. And we'll begin with the sitting bones even on the block. Okay. Have the palms on the lap, facing down on your lap. And just notice, bring your attention back to the sitting bones. Are you leaning more on the left side or the right side? See if you could come right into the center so that the weight is even on both sitting bones. And when you're ready, you can either close your eyes or gaze down towards the floor in front of you. And just notice the breath. See if you can sense that as you inhale, the breath travels in through the nose, down the spine, down to the pelvis, down to the pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, allow the breath to expand throughout the whole entire body, out through the crown of the head, through the fingertips and the toes. So as you inhale, the breath travels in through the nose, down the spine, to the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, the breath travels and expands throughout the whole entire body, out the crown of the head, the fingertips and the toes. And as you're doing this, just notice what thoughts seem to arise. Notice what you're feeling within the body. Can you sense an expansion of the ribs? Is there a vibrational energy within the hands or the feet? Just observe. And at the beginning of my classes, I always like to start with our hands in what's called a namaste position. That's bringing the palms together and then resting the thumbs on the sternum. We bow our heads towards our fingertips and create a blessing or a dedication or a wish for your practice today. What's something you wish for? Something that you're grateful for? Just remembering what brought you to this practice today. And when you're ready, relax the hands down and open your eyes. So let's change the cross of our legs. And we'll begin by raising our hands up towards the ceiling. So as you raise your fingertips up, your sitting bones move down towards the block. On your exhale, bring the fingertips down to the mat. Reach the left hand up and over, side bending to the right, opening up the left side of the body. So in this position, we're really getting in tuned. Oh my gosh, that's my alarm. I'm so sorry. We're really getting in tune with the breath. So see if you could sense an expansion of the side ribs, An expansion of the lungs and the back body. On the inhale, the right hand comes up, left hand comes down. The right hand reaches up and over, side bending to the left, expanding the right side ribs, expanding the right side of the lungs. As you breathe in, see if you can sense an expansion of the back side of the body, of the right side of the body. Inhale, left hand comes up and float the arms down and change the cross of the legs again. So we'll move into a cat and cow, have the palm mat. We'll begin in a neutral spine position. So as you inhale, arch the spine, move the chest forward and gaze forward and up. As you exhale, round the spine, chin comes towards your chest. On the inhale, arch the spine, the pelvis tilts forward as you gaze forward and up. On the exhale, round the spine, the pelvis tilts back as you gaze inward. Inhale, arch the spine, the pelvis tilts forward. Whenever we're in this forward tilt of the pelvis, this actually stretches the pelvic floor muscles. Round the spine, as you exhale, tilt the pelvis back. And in this tilt position, it actually shortens the pelvic floor muscles. And come back to a neutral spine. Come off of the block, place your block. There, okay. And come to a tabletop position. So in this position, the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. And press into the fingertips of the pressure off of the wrists. So we'll do cat and cow in this tabletop position as
Cate.
well. So as you inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward, pelvis tilts forward.
Cate, can you hear
As
me?
you exhale, round the spine, pelvis tilts back, chin towards your chest.
Well, we can hear her really good.
On your inhale, arch the spine, tilt the pelvis forward, stretching, lengthening those pelvic floor muscles. As you exhale, round the spine, tilt the pelvis back, contracting, shortening those pelvic floor muscles. And one more time, inhale, arch the spine, gaze forward, stretch the pelvic floor muscles. As you exhale, round the spine, chin comes towards your chest, contracting the pelvic floor muscles as you tilt the pelvis back. And come to a neutral spine. We'll move forward to down to bird dog. So with bird dog, you take a deep breath in through the back of the legs, and then as you exhale, keep the belly engaged, lift the right hand up.
Can you hear me, Cate?
Really keep in this position. You
There we go.
Really keep that abdominal muscles engaged. And it's not about how high you lift out. You can keep the abdominal muscles, the core muscles engaged. And as you exhale, bring the right hand down and the left leg down. Other side. So inhale in, breathe deep into the back of the lungs. As the arm up, right leg up. And again, notice the hips.
We can hear her really well when the picture's on,
up?
and not so good when the
See if you could bring the hips even. Continue to breathe. And exhale, left hand down, right leg down. So let's do this one more time. Inhale, breathe in deep into the back of the lungs. As you exhale, right hand up, left leg up, hips stay even. And exhale down. Inhale deep into the back of the body. As you exhale, left hand up, right leg up, belly is engaged. And as you exhale, the left arm and right leg come down. And then let's come to standing. So the way I like to stand up from the floor is I tuck my toes underneath, lift the hips up, walk my hands back, and then walk the hands up the body. And let me adjust my camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
So let's stand in what's called Tadasana Mountain Pose. So the feet are hips distance apart.
Can you hear me,
The
Kate?
feet are rooted down into the earth. Arms are relaxed down by your side. And have the palms facing forward to open up the chest. And as you inhale, raise the arms up overhead again. Feel an engagement of the belly as the belly scoops in and up. Feel an elongation of your sideways. Keeping the belly engaged, continue to reach the fingertips up as the feet press down onto the earth. Bring your arms down, but keep that belly engaged, hands on the hips, and begin to march in place. So when we are doing this marching position, we're really trying to keep those core muscles engaged. The core muscles are the deep abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, so it's a contraction of the pelvic floor, and the multifidus muscles, which are the tiny muscles all along the spine. So with this pose, it's not about how fast you march. It's not about how high the knees go. It's about just keeping the deep contraction of those core muscles. And then come back to standing in Tadasana Mountain Pose. Good. All right, now let's take a wide stance. Have the feet about 3 to 4 feet apart. Bring the heels in line with one another. Turn the right foot out towards 90 degrees. And then plant the feet firmly into the mat. Really focus on grounding down that left foot. Through the grounding of that left foot, then bend the knee, the right knee towards 90 degrees, and float the arms up parallel to the mat. And soft gaze over the right fingertips. So in this position, you see that the legs are further apart from each other, thus helping to stretch and elongate the pelvic floor muscles. This pose, you can also work on a contraction or a shortening of the pelvic floor muscles by externally rotating the legs. So in this pose, you can work on both stretching and contracting the muscles. As you inhale, hands on the hips, straighten the right leg, and turn the right foot towards the screen as the left foot turns out to 90 degrees. And again, bring the heels in line with one another. Press the feet firmly down into the mat. Focus on really grounding that right back foot. And through the grounding of that back foot, bend the left knee towards 90 degrees. Have the torso directly over the pelvis. There's a tendency to lean forward. No, bring it towards center. And then float the arms up. Soft gaze over the left fingertips. And again, we're stretching the pelvic floor muscles with the positioning of our legs. If we can externally rotate, you can actually feel this engagement of the buttocks muscles, of the hip flexors, which then can contribute to a contraction of the pelvic floor. It's a dual action. And as you inhale, straighten the leg, hands on the hips, and then bring the left foot towards the screen. So grab your blocks, or if you don't have blocks, you can also use the seat of a chair. And we're going to do what's called a wide leg standing forward bend. So keep the feet wide, ground the feet firmly into the earth, allow the crown of the head to go up towards the ceiling, and have the hands on the hips. So as you inhale, the crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, keep that long spine As you hinge forward over your legs and bring your hands to your blocks or to the back of the chair. The hands can relax on the blocks. If you're able to touch the ground, they can come to the ground. You can also bring your forearms down to the blocks. What we're really looking for here is a stretching or a lengthening of the pelvic floor. So it's just a relaxation of the head and the neck, relaxation of the shoulders, opening up the back of the legs, stretching and elongating the pelvic floor muscles. And to come up, inhale, just come up halfway, gaze forward, hands come to your hips, and then inhale again, and come all the way up. And then shuffle the feet together. Good. And then move the blocks out of the way. And then let's come back down to the mat once again. We're going to do what's called a supine marching. So have the knees bent, feet flat on the mat. And we'll start by just resting the hands on the belly. So with your knees bent, feet flat on the mat, legs are hips distance apart. Bring your hands and just place them on your belly. And just notice the breath. As you inhale, the belly expands and the hands move up. And as you exhale, the belly deflates and the belly button moves towards the spine. So just notice, can you sense that? As you inhale, the belly expands, filling up with air. As you exhale, the belly deflates. And this is really important because when we move on to doing marching in this position, we want the belly to stay engaged. And so we'll be moving the legs on the exhale. So to begin, let's inhale deep into the belly. As you exhale, lift the right foot up. Doesn't have to be high. Continue to exhale and bring it down. And other side. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, left leg comes up and down. And then one more time, each side. Inhale in, deep breath in. And exhale out, right leg up and down. Other side. Inhale in. Exhale, left leg up and down. And for the last pose, we'll come into Shavasana. Begin to straighten the legs out one by one. And relax the arms down by the side, palms facing up. Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Always leave time for Shavasana after every yoga practice. This is when the body can fully feel all the benefits of the practice. Just continue to notice the breath. Continue just to let everything go. Every muscle soften as you melt down into the mat. And feel free to stay here as long as you like. And if you're ready to come up, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your legs. roll over into that fetal position, using your arm as a pillow for your head, remembering the wish or blessing or dedication you made for the practice today. Utilize your arms to come back into that comfortable seated position as we were earlier. And just sit quietly, palms facing down on your lap. Eyes are relaxed, closed, or gazing down towards the floor. And just see if you can sense once again that dialogue between the inner and outer senses. When you're ready, bring your palms together in that namaste position. And we finish with one Om together. Inhale, receive a breath. Exhale. Om. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you. That's it.
Well, Kate, hopefully you can see and hear me. Not sure. We could certainly hear you, and we have a lot of viewers on live with us, and hopefully you all were able to follow along the audio. Certainly that should all be on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Amazon.
Thank you.
Did you are you able to hear me, Kate?
Don't hear anything.
Yeah, so I think she's having some difficulties on
Don't
her
hear
end.
anything.
But we hopefully you were able to follow along with everything that she was doing. I know you couldn't see her, but you could hear her, and so I'm hoping that was helpful. Unfortunately, this is the thing about live podcasts is sometimes these things happen. But she may try to get on her phone instead.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
I don't
but
know.
my guess is that she
I'm really happy that everyone was able to practice or listen.
Yes. So I'm thinking that unless she comes in good, why don't you take her out, Vic, for now, so that then
Sorry, we lost picture.
and she tries to figure.
Shoot.
So Vic, let's make, and then yeah. Yeah. Might be better. And then if she comes back on by on her phone, because we had that as a backup plan because something with their computer shut down, but hopefully people were able to follow the audio. I hope so. And
it was just like the Spotify version, like you said. You can certainly listen to it. I was following along as she was giving all the instructions.
If I knew enough yoga, I would have tried to do the poses along with her and show people what she was talking about, but it's not necessarily my forte, so I really couldn't show you exactly what she was doing either. But anyway, we're glad that you were able to join us. There's Kate back again.
Sorry. Oh, well.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming back on. But yes, we lost your video. We had your audio the entire time. So we just let everybody run.
Oh, okay.
But the audio was there the entire time.
Okay.
So we figured, well, it was kind of like listening on Spotify or on Amazon Music. So
yeah. Oh, darn. Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean, and you talked through everything. You went through everything beautifully, but unfortunately, we did lose you in terms of video. We had you audio consistently throughout the whole thing.
Well, that's good. Better than nothing.
Yeah, I just want to know, can you show me what the namaste move was? I kept hearing it, but I have no idea what it is.
Namaste.
Now I got it.
That was the one she did at the very beginning. We saw the first time you did it, and then at the end. But yeah, so
Oh, darn. Okay.
yeah, it's unfortunately, that's the only thing that's you can be
Yeah.
challenging. Technology, it's our best friend when it works, and not so good when
Yeah.
it doesn't work. But
Yeah.
why don't you? Are you on your phone now? Is that what you're on, or are you on your
No,
other?
I moved back to the computer, so I don't
Okay.
know why the phone stopped working.
Yeah, that was interesting because it's like when I think an alarm or something went off, and that's when it started just a little bit. The sound wasn't as quite as there as it should be, and then
Oh.
shortly after the video dropped out, and then the sound was perfect. So
Oh
but
my gosh.
but we could
Oh,
hear
well.
everything. We could hear you describe all the poses and everything that you were doing and talk through the whole thing. So
Okay.
we had good audio.
Yeah.
But a couple things we can do is I do have some questions I can feed you in a minute, but hold on. I just wondered, would you like to, so we have it on audio. Would you like to show any of those poses again at all?
Yeah, I could show like just really briefly until this camera, fades as well. So the poses that I talked about. So one of them is a marching pose. I think you got the beginning. So one is a marching pose. So you inhale, arms up, engage the belly, keeping that engagement of the core muscles, hands on the hips, and march in place. Key here is to try to keep the pelvis stable. So no bending like this, no bending like that, but keep stable.
Mm-hmm.
So this really helps keep your balance when you engage those core muscles. And then the other pose I talked about, you have the heels in line with one another. Turn the right foot out. This is a warrior 2 position. You're grounding both feet down, arms come up parallel to the mat, soft gaze over the right fingertip. So it's really important to keep the torso over the pelvis. And this spreading of the legs stretches the pelvic floor muscles. But when we externally rotate the legs, you can feel an engagement of the hip flexors that will help contract the pelvic floor muscles. Mm-hmm. So we do that each side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's contraction. And then to really stretch and lengthen the pelvic floor muscles, we do a wide leg standing forward bend. So this helps stretch and elongate the pelvic floor muscles as well. And then just make sure you come up slowly and shuffle the feet together. And then the last pose, one of the last poses that I did was lay down. So first I just want you to get in touch with the breath. So as you inhale, the belly inflates. And as you exhale, the belly deflates. And the belly button moves towards the spine. So with this marching position, I wanted it to be with every exhale. So you inhale in deep into the belly. As you exhale out, you lift the right leg up and down. And then other side, inhale in through the belly. Exhale, left leg up and down. And you can really feel the engagement. If you press your fingertips onto your belly, you can really feel that engagement of those abdominal muscles. So that was that. And then, did you guys see, I don't know if you saw, so this is tabletop position. So neutral spine. And we move into bird dog. So first we did cat and cow. And then with the neutral spine, we moved into bird dog. So in here, you really breathe into the back body, breathe into the side ribs. And then as you exhale, then you bring the right arm up, the left hand up. And you really try to keep the hips in line with each other. Sometimes the left hip wants to come up or wants to sink down. try to keep it in line with each other. Down, and then just do the other side. Inhale, back body, side ribs. Exhale, right leg up, left hand up. And here, you know, the leg that's down, the hip wants to move out. So you want to bring it in to midline. And you don't have to lift the leg up or the arm up very high. You just want to keep an engagement of those muscles. And I think that's mostly it.
You can bring me. Okay, great. Yeah, that was great because you were able to show us all those different poses. That was really helpful. And we could see you perfectly and we could hear you beautifully this time. So, but the nice thing is I think it's good. We have the audio version and then we have this where you show the actual poses. And we might even be able to, Vic is pretty amazing. He might be able to invert it where he can show the poses before and then go into the audio, but we'll figure it out on the recording too. But I think it's great because now at least they can see each of the different things that you were doing and the corrections and everything, which is awesome. So
yeah, and you know, oftentimes when I teach yoga, you know, people aren't really looking at me so much; they're just listening to the words. So it's good to hear that the audio at least got through, because as they start to get used to practicing these different poses, they could just listen in and hear it just fine.
Perfect. Yeah, because the audio was great. So I think that is really good. So I think between your re-demonstration, thank you, and the audio earlier, I think they have some good information that's really helpful. And I enjoyed it, and it was I thought you did a really nice job, and I think it's an excellent program. I'm really excited about it. We are going to have at the end of June, someone else is coming on who is a sexologist and a yoga master as well. And so they're going to talk about.
Oh, lovely.
So we're going to have another session on sexuality and yoga in particular at the end of June. I believe it's June 24th. So that's exciting. We'll have more yoga. But I so appreciate you coming on, showing us all these important poses and things that help the pelvic floor, and the things that you've worked on with patients and people and sharing your expertise. It's so great. Really appreciate that so much. Let's see, I have 2 questions. So question 1 is, you've blended your background in urology and advanced yoga training. What inspired you to create a yoga for incontinence program, and how have patients responded to it?
Oh my gosh, a question. I love this. Yes. So I was inspired to create this yoga for incontinence program because I love yoga so much, and I just knew it had so much benefits for the body. And I'm just very grateful for Stanford for allowing me to create this program. But what really inspired me was when I heard about the UCSF study. That study was done in 2013. So it was a long time ago. And so when I heard about this study for the first time, maybe 2 years ago, I was like, I have to meet the yoga teacher who participated in that study. So her name is Leslie Howard. She's based out of Oakland, California, but she was the yoga expert on that study. So I sought her out, and I did additional yoga training with her so that I could develop this class. So she was very, very instrumental in helping me develop this class, as well as a pelvic floor physical therapist named Jessica Wayne. Both those women really helped me develop this class, and my patients love it. So I started off with men only because I wanted to bring more men into the yoga environment and do it in a non-threatening way. So I said it was only for men, and I picked men specifically with prostate cancer. But it's been very, very beneficial. They've actually noticed an improvement of their urinary urgency and stress incontinence. So it's been great.
That's so awesome. So
and they actually do like the online format, so because they could do it from the comfort of their home.
I think that's great, definitely. And so I think it's a good way to do it too. Like you said, you're not intimidated by other people or anything. And but you did present this at the conference I was at, and I just thought it was so interesting. That's why I was like, we have to have you on, and you have to share your expertise. So that's so cool. I have a second question for you. I'm struggling with pelvic floor dysfunction and stress incontinence. It seems like I could use the yoga you shared to help with my mind-body connection. Do you think it would help me to also seek other opportunities to do yoga online or in class?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, so I talked about this at the conference, Leslie Howard Yoga. That's lesliehowardyoga.com. She teaches both online and in person, and she also does pelvic floor yoga workshops. So I would seek her out. And yeah, I would say the mind-body connection is so incredibly important. So if you're not able to do yoga right away, I mean, even just sitting in meditation, even for a few minutes, just to settle the body down and get into stillness and see if you can hear that dialogue between the outer senses and the inner senses.
Excellent. I'm putting that in the chat for folks so that they will have it. So I'm putting it in there right now for you. And so there is the website for Leslie Howard. I was able to pull it up while we were talking.
Yeah.
Thank you for that great resource, because
on her website, she also has a list of certified pelvic floor yoga teachers all over the country. And she also has a list of pelvic floor physical therapists all over the country. So she's a great resource.
Wow, that's so awesome. That's great. What a great resource for everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to do a quick centering exercise. We're going to hear what's coming up next week, and then we'll close out. So right now, I'd like to talk people through a little bit. You already had a great centering exercise, actually, from Cate, but as she finished up. But let's come back to it. We so appreciate you being here. So find a comfortable position. You can be seated, you can be lying down, or standing tall with your feet grounded. If you feel safe to do so, gently close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and exhale fully through your mouth. So big breath in your nose, exhale fully through your mouth. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw release and allow your pelvic floor to relax. Just a little more with every breath. Every time you exhale, feel any tension. Let it release with those exhales. Now gently bring your attention to your pelvic floor, the space between your hips. With no judgment, just notice, is there sensation there? Are you holding tension? Release any tension you may feel in the pelvic floor. Let these affirmations guide your closing reflection. Why is it so healing to feel grounded and safe in my body? Why do I trust my body's wisdom more each day? Why is it so natural for me to reconnect with my breath, my center, and myself? Take one more breath in, anchoring your awareness. Exhale slowly, feeling rooted, feeling supported, and gently empowered. When you're ready, softly open your eyes. Carry this sense of connection forward into your breath, into your body, and into your life. We are so pleased you joined us today, and I thank my guest Cate for talking us through her amazing yoga. And I hope you learned a lot. Vic, can you show us what's coming up next week?
In this essential episode, Dr. Jeff is joined by expert urologist Dr. Alex Glazer to explore everything you need to know about prostate health. The prostate plays a key role in male sexual and urinary function, yet many men don't have a clear understanding of how it works, or what to watch out for as they age. Together, Dr. Jeff and Dr. Glazer dive into common prostate conditions including prostatitis, benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, and prostate cancer. Whether you're looking to better understand your own body or support a loved one, this conversation offers practical, evidence-based insights and empowers you with the knowledge to take charge of your prostate health. Join us next week to learn more at drjeffsextalk.com.
That's great. Cate, thank you
Thank you
for
so
sharing your
much.
expertise. It was so fun and it was so interesting. And I really
Thank you.
appreciate you sharing all that. It's going to be great. And I know a lot of people will learn from it. And, life is an adventure, and there's always going to be ups and downs. And with technology, there's always going to be craziness. But you know what?
Yeah.
Yoga is about centering. We are about self-care is so important. So as we leave here, we want to remind you how important it is to take care of yourself. And the yoga things that you shared with us today, I think, are so helpful in that journey towards healing. And so what is it for you? Is it yoga? Is it being on the river kayaking? Is it putting your feet on the earth and feeling the earth beneath you? What can you do to feed your soul and to help yourself today? I think that's really important. Cate, is there any other messages you want to leave us with before we close out today?
I just want to say thank you, Jeff, for inviting me. This was such a pleasure. And yeah, even despite the technical difficulties, that really is a practice of yoga. It's allowing things to come and go. I mean, that's what life is all about. So thank you to everyone who joined in today and who's going to watch the recording. I'm just so grateful. I'm wishing everyone embodiment, urinary control, and pelvic health.
Definitely. Namaste for sure.
Yes,
And so
you.
that's just it. Suffering comes from how we judge things. It is what it is, technical difficulties and all, but we're here. You've learned some wonderful things today, and we're so glad you joined us. So have a wonderful rest of your day, whether you're watching live or recorded. Thank you so much.